Drifblim and Quick Claw Ditto was able to get top 32 at the Japan National Championship, and we're going to be trying out that team and seeing how well it can perform. The first four combination Miraidon, Zamazenta, Xianpao, and Volcarona look pretty standard. However, the support Pokemon are anything but. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Zamazenta with the Rusted Shield, which gives it the Crown form, with the Dauntless Shield giving a +1 defense boost once per game, with the defensive Terra type of the Dragon typing, which is able to help out against common typing such as Water, Fire, and Grass type moves, as well as resisting the Electric type moves from Pokemon such as the Miraidon and the Raging Bolt. With the Body Press, Behemoth Bash, Wide Guard, Protect. Sometimes we see Heavy Slam on the Zamazenta over Behemoth Bash. Behemoth Bash is just consistent and isn't weight reliant, so it can go for really consistent base 100 base power steel type move against opponents, even if they are a decently heavy Pokemon like the Fairy Calyx Ice Rider. The Body Press, of course, really strong off the Dauntless Shield boost. Wide Guard is to help out against those really powerful spread moves. Pretty basic Zamazenta otherwise. EV Spread, this one is actually a very fast Zamazenta. Still has a good amount of defense though, because you want to be able to do a lot of damage utilizing the Body Press. So you do have 212 with an Impish Nature, 92 HP for attack, for special defense, and then 196 speed. And this allows the Zamazenta to be able to just outspeed a lot of the base 100s in general and a little bit above that. So able to outspeed threats like the Landorus Incarnate, for instance, with max speed, Chi-Yu, and a bunch of other threats. It is going to speed creep those and can probably just outspeed most of the common Zamazentas out there and get really powerful body presses off. Next Pokemon we have is the Covercloak Miraidon, which is able to prevent the Miraidon from getting affected by secondary effects such as the Fake Out Flinch, as well as the Icy Wind and Electro Web speed drops out there, including Snarl special attack drops, with the Hadron engine to summon the electric terrain and boost the Miraidon special attack damage output with the Electric Terra type, which is just able to power up its electric type moves even further. With Electro Drift, Draco Meteor, Snarl, and Volt Switch. Definitely a bit of a strange Miraidon here, running that Covert Cloak, but again, Japan Nationals is a best of one closed team sheet setting, so it does make sense. You do have to have some surprises, and the Miraidon here is vulnerable to Fake Out, so a lot of players will go for a Fake Out, especially if they're using like a Rillaboom or Incineroar. Then they get affected by the Covert Cloak, and it is a pretty bad result for them. Electro Drift and Volt Switch, of course, are pretty common electric type moves. The Draco Meteor for the hard hitter, and Snarl to be able to help out against opposing Miraidon, as well as just special attackers like the Calyx Shadow Rider, which is very helpful. EV Spread wise, it is pretty much just a max speed and max special attack Miraidon, but you might notice it is just a little bit short of max speed. It's 244 speed instead, and there are a few reasons for this. One is you can determine how fast the Miraidon is, because no one really runs 244 speed Miraidon for the most part, so you can pretty much tell that, okay, you're going to know if it's a speed tie or not when both Hadron engines are on the field. The second thing is that the Miraidon on this is 1 point slower than the Adamant Xianpao on this team, which is a big deal because you want the Xianpao to move first before the Miraidon. Otherwise, you just try to get as much damage output you can from this Miraidon set. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Xianpao, which allows the Xianpao to live one really strong hit when at full HP, with the Sword of Ruin that's able to lower the defense of all remaining Pokemon on the field, with the Ghost Terra type, which is able to help out the Xianpao avoid the fighting type moves and the normal moves, especially the Fake Out and extreme speeds. The moveset's pretty interesting. Icicle Crash, which is pretty common of an ice type move, especially when you don't want to get rid of terrain with Ice Spinner. You have Sucker Punch for the priority dark type move. Ruination is a move that's been picking up recently, and it's really strong because Xianpao is one of the fastest Pokemon in the format. You could go for Ruination, and it does half of the opponent's remaining HP. So against a full HP mon, you could do a 50%, which is really nice. And then Miraidon and Zamazenta can go afterward and threaten the knockout. So it is able to have some pretty good utility there. And then Taunt, which is just able to be a really great support option, as it is able to shut down any supports like Wide Guard, Trick Room, and more. So not running Protect on Xianpao, which is pretty interesting, but Protect can be usually telegraphed on Xianpao, so might as well just have a bit more utility with the Xianpao. Maybe opponents will think you have Protect and will go for Protect, but will reveal you don't actually have to protect, so you can play a bit more aggressive this way. The EV spread here is a max attack and max speed Xianpao, not surprising. However, it does run the animate nature over the jolly nature instead. A lot of Xianpaos tend to go max speed because it really punishes a slower Miraidon. But this one actually just opting to go with adamant so it can do more damage with those icicle crashes and the sucker punch, because you do have some other speed control forms in the Volcarona and the Drifblim. Next Pokemon we have is the Rocky Helmet Volcarona with the Flame Body ability that has a chance to burn any Pokemon that comes in contact with Volcarona. They also take chip damage because of the Rocky Helmet. With the Water Terra type, a great defensive typing that still is able to resist the Glacial Lances from the Calyx Ice Rider, but also just be able to resist the very powerful water moves from Kyogre and Urshifu Rapid Strike with Flamethrower, Rage Powder, Tailwind, and Protect. Flamethrower, a bit more of a consistent fire type move, has a little bit of extra power than Fiery Dance, which does have a 50% chance, but since this team plays a bit more aggressively and prefers having more damage output in general, Flamethrower is welcomed here with the Rage Powder to redirect moves from the opponent's side. The Tailwind, of course, which is able to have a speed advantage and protect to keep itself around. EV spread wise, it is pretty much a max defensive Volcarona for the most part. Max HP, which allows you to get a number divisible by 16, so you can get the maximum health of Grassy Terrain recovery, a lot, and I mean a lot, of physical defense, and then just a little bit extra into speed. This allows you to outspeed max speed Incineroar. And Volcarona is just a great Pokemon against opposing Zamazenta, which the team does kind of struggle switching into. A good pivot into Calyx Ice Rider as well, is able to help out against those restricted while being really good into Zamazenta Calyx Shadow Rider teams. And was noted that this is also a pretty good mon against the Zacian Tailwind builds, because you can get Tailwind up and prevent the Zacian from going crazy, especially if they have Sacred Sword as an option. Next Pokemon we have is the Quick Claw Ditto, which gives it a chance to move first in its priority bracket with the Imposter ability, which is able to copy the Pokemon instead of having to go for Transform immediately, with the normal Terra type, which is able to help out mainly against the Calyx Shadow Rider Astral Barrages being immune to it, as well as the Moongeist Beams from Lunala, with just Transform because that's the only move it gets access to. The EV spread otherwise is just max HP and max speed, and pretty much the idea of Ditto is you do need max HP always with the Imposter, and then you do run max speed in case you aren't able to transform for situations and you have to go for the transform, so have the fastest Ditto out there. It's pretty interesting because normally we've seen Ditto in the format before run different items, and the reason for the Quick Claw is it gave more chances for the Ditto to move first, so you have that 50% chance of the speed tie initially with the Ditto, assuming they're not like Choice Scarf on the opponent's side, and then the Quick Claw is able to boost the odds of you just going first before that, so it just gives you better odds. And that's what the creators mentioned, that Quick Claw could just give you better odds in order to become more favorable, especially in game like priority Tailwind, for instance, so could be very helpful there. And yeah, Ditto is a pretty interesting Pokemon. We don't see it commonly as much in the format, but it is able to help out when, especially against like Zamazenta, Zacians, because the transform will go off, you copy the stat increases or decreases that the opponent has, and then the ability activates afterwards. So for instance, against opposing Zacian or Zamazentas, you're able to get the +1 from copying their boost, and then you get the ability activation on top of that, so you're able to get another one. It can be really impactful against Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, and a bunch of other restricteds. Final Pokemon on this team is the Electric Sea Drifblim, which gives it a +1 defense boost when electric terrain is set up on the field. With the Unburden ability, when an item is consumed, it gives it double in speed, so you can instantly get the activation thanks to the Electric Seed, with the Terra Flying typing to just power up the Air Slash even further. This Drifblim is running Air Slash, Icy Wind, Destiny Bond, and Trick Room. So what is up with Drifblim? The interesting thing about this Drifblim set is the move Destiny Bond, which if the user utilizes it and then goes down before it makes its next move, then it will take down its opponent alongside it. So it can be really nice into a lot of the restricteds that could give it some trouble, like Calyx Ice Riders, or you could take down a Miraidon that decides, hey, I'm going to Volt Switch out the Drifblim, gets caught by the Destiny Bond, and then it is a very punishing factor. So that's the main reason why the Drifblim does have access to the Destiny Bond and the Trick Room. And you don't commonly see Trick Room on Drifblim normally gets Tailwind. Trick Room is a new tech that it does get in the generation, and because of the way Destiny Bond works, where it's until Drifblim gets its next move off, if we go for Destiny Bond and the Drifblim is ignored, you can go for Trick Room as well in order to extend that extra turn, so it can catch opponents a little bit off guard and surprise there. Otherwise, Icy Wind support for the speed advantage can help out the Miraidon, the Xianpao, and the Zamazenta for outspeeding really fast Pokemon like opposing base 135s that are faster than yours, or the Calyx Shadow Rider, and Air Slash just for some stronger coverage into common Pokemon like Amoonguss, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and more. This Drifblim otherwise is running max speed and max special attack. The max speed is to outspeed pretty much anything you can pretty much imagine. In most cases, some booster energy flutters that don't run max speed, for instance, and yeah, just able to outspeed a lot with the max special attack to deal as much damage to Air Slash. An interesting thing to note about the IVs, so the HP ones, it's a bit weird. The offer did note that it was pretty much 0 in the defense and special defense. This is because you want Drifblim to go down for the Destiny Bond trades for a lot of the cases, so you don't run any bulk in general on the Drifblim. You want it to go down. It does have a little bit of HP. I think that's just the IVs that the creator was able to get, and then the 4 HP, I think it was just like, okay, I got the min defense and the min special defense, that's all I really need. But yes, that is the Drifblim. It has some really interesting techs with the Destiny Bond and the Trick Room that can catch opponents off guard, while having the Unburden. Icy Wind support can actually make matters quite useful, and has multiple forms of speed control, which can really dictate how the game will go, because you will pretty much always be an advantage of speed as long as the Drifblim is able to get one of its moves off. So how to use the team overall with this team, I mean, you have a pretty standard Qianpao Zamazenta mode, which is super strong with the really strong follow-ups of Ruination plus Body Press is incredible. You have the Miraidon that can lead with anything for the most part. Volt Switch out, you could get the Ditto in to copy your opponents as well. You could set up for positions, pivot using the Volcarona that's extremely bulky. You have the Drifblim mode that you could go for immediately with the Destiny Bond trap if you expect your opponent to target Drifblim. And if not, you could go for that Destiny Bond in the Trick Room as well. But you could also go for like Icy Wind speed advantage plus an attack with Miraidon to be able to outspeed and threaten opponents. You have a lot of different combinations there. The Tailwind of Volcarona can be set up immediately, or you could lead it with any Pokemon for that redirection. Ditto can be a really good Pokemon to have in the back for waiting its opportunity to copy into a Pokemon to take advantage of. You also have the Volt Switch Miraidon once again, but you can also lead Ditto in some situations and scout for what your opponent has. And what's cool about Ditto is it does reveal a lot about your opponent because of the fact that you copy into them, so you can pretty much get a grasp of what they could be running, which is very valuable again in a close team sheet setting. If you would like to check out the details of the team, the creator, and the report that is listed down below in the description, make sure you give it a read. I'll link them down below in the description. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Drifloon and Drifblim line? Because I thought it was cool. It was a really big pain to get in Diamond and Pearl for me. I remember like back in the day, it was like really annoying to get a Drifloon because it was like I didn't know how to get it. And then I actually have had a lot of fun with Drifblim. I used it a lot early 2017 when no one was running it back then. And then Drifblim ended up winning an international. And yeah, it's been a really fun Pokemon in general, especially with that Unburden boost. Was able to win a North American International Championship in 2018. I think it's a really cool mod. It's just really stinks that like a lot of the booster energy and the Quark Drive mods just outspeed Drifblim from a +1 because of how insane the gap is with the stats. However, I still think it's a really cool mod for what it gets with Unburden and Terrain. So let me know in the comments down below, but otherwise let's get started and play some games. Miraidon, Whimsicott, Sneasler, Calyx, Ice Rider, Volcarona, and Urshifu. Sneasler actually makes this a bit weird. Sneasler does make this actually a bit weird. Alright, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do Qianpao, Zamazenta, and then Miraidon for sure. Do I need Miraidon actually? I might not need Miraidon. Get against Volk. That's really it. They're definitely bringing their own Miraidon, so I don't think I have to bring my Miraidon. Because the thing about Miraidon is, well, are they going to bring Ursh against me? I don't think so. What would I expect them to bring? I think Whimsicott, Miraidon, Cali Eyes, Volcarona makes the most sense. think I'm bringing Ditto then, because I think I would love Ditto for the Cali Ice transformation, and then I'm gonna bring my Drifblim here. Because the reason I'll bring Drifblim, even though I think it's not great in this matchup because Whimsicott Miraidon is such a pain, is I do have some use for it against the... It's good in Sneasler. I mean, they have 3 flying. They have 4 flying weeks, actually. They have 4 flying weeks. The only problem is it's not great defensively here, but we'll see. Lead wise, I could see either Volcarona plus Cali Ice, or they lead the Whimsicott Miraidon, which is like, yeah, that was probably the like most likely option. Okay. Versus Xianpao Zamazenta. If I was them, I'd probably just click Tailwind and Volt Switch out my POW. That's what I would do if I was them. I think I'm just gonna go for KO to Whimsicott as quickly as possible with Icicle Crash. Icicle Crash Body Press probably is fine. Miraidon swaps out Volcarona. I thought they were gonna Volt Switch out, but that works out too. Yeah, nice. Okay, that works out pretty nicely for me. Ooh, wait, hold on. They attacked aggressively with Whimsicott. It's Sash. So this is Sash Endeavor, probably. They're not faster than my Zama though, so they do go down with the Whimsicott. That's a great turn for me. Okay, I'll take it. I will take it. That's a great turn for me. Get rid of the Whimsicott. They don't have Tailwind. Now I also have my Miraidon coming in later. Ooh, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Miraidon coming in. I think I'm just going to go for... Ruination Body Press is pretty safe. Yeah. Gonna go for Ruination Body Press into Miraidon. You go for Rage Powder, which is cool because I'll still get Ruination Body Press damage, which is nice. The Miraidon. What are you going for? Volt Switch. Dazzling Gleam. Body Press comes out. Good damage to the Volk. Rocky Helmet Chip. He just Electro Drift my Xianpao? Okay. It's a slow Miraidon too. It's slower than my Zama. Alright. I'm fine with just going for a crash into the Volcarona and just throwing off a Body Press into Miraidon. I get some really good damage no matter what. Like Volcarona either protects, switches out, or goes down. And if they either one, they all work for me. I get good damage into Miraidon regardless of the Body Press, and then we set up for a nice end game. Okay, we see a Terra, so this might be Terra Fairy. Now they Terra the Miraidon into Electric. Okay. What Miraidon is this? I don't think it's Specs. I do get the Crash KO into Volk. That's actually crazy too, because if I doubled up the Miraidon with Crash Body Press, they lost. I mean, no matter what, the Body Press is coming out of Miraidon. That's huge damage into Miraidon. Yeah, now it's either in Sucker Punch range or it's in range of another Body Press. They're gonna go for Electro Drift into my Zamazenta. It does pick up the knockout. Okay. Let's try something. Let's try something. Into the Drifblim we go. Wait, that's not a Cali Ice. Sneasler. Okay. Oh, then I have a guaranteed way to win. Okay, cool. Yeah, we have a guaranteed way to win here. Okay, perfect. So we go for Terra Ghost, we Sucker Punch the Miraidon, and we go for a Icy Wind. Yeah. That works. That does work here. Because with the Terra Ghost, we don't have to worry about Fake Out, we don't have to worry about Feint, we don't have to worry about Upper Hand from Sneasler. Unless the Miraidon has Protect or some other move that it can go for, but I should be able to go for a Sucker Punch into Miraidon. I go for a Icy Wind here to slow down the Sneasler, and then I'm set up for a very good endgame. And even if this doesn't work out, I mean, I still have a Ditto in the back that can transform into the Miraidon. Terra Ghost. Let's see. I think they have to fake out the POW and hope I'm not Terra Ghost. But I get the Sucker Punch off. No fake out attempts. I do KO the Miraidon, so Miraidon goes down. Excellent. And now we get this Icy Wind off in the Sneasler, which I don't know if Drifblim outspeeds the Sneasler after. I probably do. Power Claw gonna come in. Poison. Okay. I do land the Icy, although I don't think landing Icy is that big of a deal. Maybe I should have just went for Air Slash in the Sneasler, but yeah, I guess I could have just went for Air Slash in the Sneasler. I don't know why Icy Wind that turn actually, because we know it's Electric Sea, it's not Focus Sash. Yeah. Not that big of a deal though. We just spam Sucker Punch and we throw off an Air Slash, like we guarantee to win anyway. Yeah. And we do outspeed. We get the Air Slash and KO the Sneasler. Okay, beautiful. No Cali Ice. I was hoping to go Drifblim and to click Destiny Bond and Sucker Punch, which would have been huge for me because their options are to either to Trick Room or Glacial. If they go for Trick Room, I go for Protect plus a reverse Trick Room with my Drifblim. And if they Glacial that turn, then they get messed up by the Destiny Bond. But if they went for Glacial, I mean, they also get messed up by the Glacial Lance. I think the only way I would lose that is if they go for the single target move into Chien Pao. But I could just transform into their Cali regardless with Ditto, because Ditto will be faster than the Cali. So yeah, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but nice. All right, we have Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Hisuian Arcanine, Raging Bull, and Kyogre. Why is this just like a Sun team with a Kyogre randomly on it? And Hisuian Arcanine. This is like the one mon that's actually really good against my team for no reason. Oh boy. Oh boy. Unfortunately, I can't copy Photosynthesis with Ditto. That'd be really good here. But I cannot. Lead-wise, I can't even lead Drifblim because it's slower than Fluttermane with Speed Booster, which is a big shame. I think combination-wise, I'm just going to lead the Chien Pao plus the Zamazenta. I don't really like Volcarona in this matchup other than getting Tailwind. I don't even really like Ditto too much. Yeah, I think I'm bringing Drifblim and Miraidon. Drifblim Speed Control can actually put in work against this team if I get rid of the Flutter. But the main one I really need to make sure. I think Terra Dragon on Zamazenta is always the key here. I never go for Terra Ghost with POW most likely. And I don't need to Terra on the other mons. We're going to see Chi-Yu Fluttermane. Do you have Booster Energy on the Flutter? I will Terra Dragon my Zama. Go to Ruin Activate. Wait, it's not even Scarf Chi-Yu. It's Slow Chi-Yu. And it's not Booster Energy Flutter. I have no idea if it's max speed or not, though. This is such a weird turn. I think my best... How much do I want to commit here? I kind of just want to Icicle Crash and Wide Guard. I think I'm going to go for it. Because I have no idea what these interactions are. I don't think they overheat commit turn one. I think they're probably just going to Moonblast Heat Wave or something else. All right, their Flutter is at least... Okay, that's bulky Flutter. Nasty plot. Wait, they Trick Roomed? Stadium Ladder, I guess. Okay. This is fine. I'm gonna go for Sucker Punch and Body Press, and it works. Okay. I mean, I'm glad I played aggressively. If I went for double Protect, if I had Protect, that would have been bad. So it's actually really good that Pow doesn't have Protect. I think I would have probably went on the offense anyway, but what I mean retreats into Raging Bolt. That makes sense. All right, did they attack here? The Raging Bolt's going to be really tough to deal with. I don't really have good counters to it now that I Terra Dragon my Zama. I Sucker Punch fail. They Dark Pulse my Pow. Okay. That actually works out really nice for me because I get the Body Press off into the Chi-Yu and I get rid of Chi-Yu. So this isn't awful, but it's not ideal, of course. It could have been way better. Okay, who are they bringing out next? Flutter comes out. Oh man, this is gonna be so strange. They can't afford Sucker Punch. I think I go Drifblim here. I want to click Bash really badly, but I think it's Protect. Because I have no idea where the attacks are going to be fired. I think it's Thunderclap into Pow and they Moonblast my Zamazenta, but we'll see. Yeah, they did Thunderclap my Pow slot. Okay. It did Moonblast. Okay, I was correct on that. If I lived, I probably should have went for the Behemoth Bash, but that still works. So the Trick Room is getting stalled out. It is getting stalled out. I think we go Miraidon to absorb an electric type move. And then I think we go for a Body Press into the Raging Bolt. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm trying to set up an end game where Trick Room is stalled out, both Pokemon are weakened, and then I can take a double KO potentially. I have no idea what the Flutter set is though. If it's Fairy Feather, that's bad. You go for Thunderbolt? Yep. Perfect. Blast. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Damage. Unfortunately, the game is nowhere near over. Okay. I think I have to sack Miraidon here most likely. Yeah, I do have to sack Miraidon here most likely. I think it depends on the Bolt set, like very heavily here. But I'm going to Protect and swap. I'm going to Protect and sack Miraidon to bring in Pal so I can Sucker Punch Heavy Slam the next turn. A Draco Meteor, which is cool. Excellent. And then the Flutter is just gonna Moonblast or Gleam. Yeah, that's fine. Because I think Pal had some usage, but I think Blim probably did more than Miraidon, depending on the Koraidon set. But we're gonna go into our Pal here. We go for Sucker Punch Heavy Slam. A lot of the Raging Bolts are Terra Electric, but if this is Terra Fairy, I'm screwed. But yeah, we go for Sucker Punch and we go for a Behemoth Bash into the Flutter. Okay, I've gotten out of this one, I think. So far. So far. They retreat Flutter. They bring out the Koraidon. That's fair. They take Chit, which is nice. A lot of this is going to come down to how fast the Koraidon is too. I completely forgot that they get the they get a defense boost because they got -2 special attack from Draco. There's no way, man. Oh, there's actually no way. Please live this somehow. I don't think you do. Okay. Oh, this is possible, but this is really bad. We go out in a Drifblim. We get the electric seed. Do they switch out the Raging Bolt or not? Because I can Sucker Punch the Raging Bolt slot and I can Air Slash. I might have to go for Air Slash Flinch, realistically. I think I do. Okay, wait, they gave me the Raging Bolt. That's huge. I actually have a chance now. I have a chance. Okay, Raging Bolt down. I get the Air Slash into Koraidon. Come on, man. Are you serious? The fact that they actually got a defense boost because of the sun. Oh my. It's life of Koraidon too. I don't think I'm in a good spot. I'm pretty sure if Icy Wind KOs the Flutter, maybe if they Flare Blitz and take the recoil. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. We have the defense boost. It does not matter. Well, it is Life Orb. Oh, we were fast and current. Was the play to Air Slash the Koraidon and hope I KO'd? I mean, I think I would have lost to them going for a Shadow Ball. Well, actually, no. They're Trick or Moonblast Dazzling Gleam. Although they might have Shadow Balls the last. Are you serious, man? Are you serious? The Air Slash missed too. If I didn't miss Air Slash, Icy Wind won me the game there. Or I could have just Air Slashed the Koraidon in the next turn potentially. Oh my goodness. 95% accuracy moves are the bane, man. Alright, we have a general balance team of Calyx, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Raging Bolt, the Rillaboom, Amoonguss, and Incineroar. Okay. I think that this is pretty alright for me. I kind of like... Do I like leading Zamazenta? I don't want to lead Zamazenta because that... I'm debating about a really weird lead here. And I mean a really weird lead. Of Drifblim, Xian... Wait, do I bring Xianpao in this? I guess I don't have to bring Xianpao into this. I like Ditto a lot, but do I want to lead Ditto is the question. I don't think so. This is tough because I don't want to activate my Electric Seed on Drifblim immediately. Yeah, I think this is going to be a tricky one. I think I'm going to do Miraidon plus the Zamazenta as a lead. I don't think that's awful. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Volcarona is decent and is pretty good in this match, though. Do I bring Volcarona over Ditto? Because I could copy quite a bit. Maybe it's just Volcarona lead. Volcarona with Miraidon with Zamazenta plus Drifblim back. I think this is alright because I could double up the Amoonguss slot and threaten the KO. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked Ditto too because Ditto could just transform into Zama or Shadow Rider, but there are so many good things that I have in this matchup, right? The Volcarona can put in work. The Drifblim's a body press immunity while having access to fast icy wind for the Shadow Rider. We're gonna see instant plus Shadow Rider, which I thought that they would probably try to do an Amoonguss combo, but this actually works out pretty big in my favor. Okay. I'm just gonna go for attacks, I think. If they don't know the team, I have Covert Cloak on the Miraidon, so I can just go for a... Do I Snarl or do I Volt Switch immediately? I kind of like the idea of just doubling up the Shadow Rider. I could Electro Drift here too. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Safest play though is to Volt Switch here. Because if they Astral and they fake out my Volcarona, it's bad. Yeah, no, I'm gonna Volt Switch. I'm not gonna be play greedy. A Nasty Plot immediately. No fake out is insane. No fake out is insane to me. Get a Volt Switch off. Does Flamethrower KO? I don't even think it does. But I know what does KO. My Drifblim. My Blim. Which I'm going out into. That's insane. They... Like... That's an aggressive attack with Shadow Rider turn 1. No fake out, no parting shot, no go into Reela and protect. Yeah, I barely missed a KO, which is what I expected. They Flare Blitz my Volk. They're taking a lot of damage. Okay. Awesome start for me. Awesome start for me. I'm going to get a Tailwind up and I'm just going to Icy Wind. Because Icy Wind and Air Slash are the same base power. Or the same accuracy. Icy Wind will definitely KO. Please, the one Icy Wind I gotta connect. Okay, I don't have to connect one this turn, thankfully. Okay, cool. Icy Wind gonna come out. So I have a spread move if they want to try to go in Amoonguss, which is really good for me. So that's nice. We get the Tailwind off. They taunt my Drifblim. Okay, perfect. I mean, wait, but what were they expecting? I get an attack off the next turn. I can Flamethrower and Icy Wind to Cali. Or I can Air Slash double up if I want to. I guess I'll just Air Slash because it does more damage to whatever might want to come in. I guess other than Raging Bolt. I'm just gonna Icy Wind. If they go Zama, which is fine. Yeah, like what was that game plan? What was that game plan? What were they like? They could have just lost a Cali turn 1. If I click Snarl or if I clicked Electro Drift, they just instant loss. I don't know what their plan was. They left a Miraidon in to attack. What did they expect was gonna happen? Did they think I was gonna switch out? I guess like they thought, oh, if I'm Specs Miraidon, I'm worried about fake out Astro and turn out to Astro. Well, yeah, but I would try to reposition after that fact. I'd probably try to bring in my Zamazenta, or I have something on the Volcarona because I let it, but I'm not sure about that one. All right, we have Calyx, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Tornadus, Rillaboom, the Raging Bolt, and Smeargle. Okay. And I want to approach this one. I actually do like the Drifblim here. The Ditto's also pretty solid. How can put in work. Volcarona is of course really good into the comp. It's actually a game where I could bring any combination. Like any combination would be really solid here. They have to respect it. Okay. I think I like the idea of Miraidon leading though, because it just puts on a lot of offensive pressure immediately. Miraidon Zama is actually really just like a good lead here, because Wide Guard's super solid in this. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I think in the back, I like Drifblim. And I kind of like Ditto. Because Ditto transforming into the restricteds is really good, especially if I copy the Shadow Rider. Because Terra Normal will go crazy here, but we'll see. I think I like the idea of Miraidon because if they lead Torn plus anything, Miraidon plus Zama covers all of them. If they lead Smeargle plus the Rillaboom, this is also fine. Okay. I have Cover Cloak on the Miraidon, so I can always get the Volt Switch or Dazzling Gleam off. I don't think this is awful. I'm okay with... I think my ideal play is it just to give the... I mean, they spored a Miraidon slot, right? Don't need Miraidon too much. You know what? I'm gonna go for Electro Drift into the Smeargle, and I'm just gonna protect the Zama. I don't know if they know the team. I think this is just a safe play of Electro Drifting here and protecting. They fake out my Zama. Okay, would have liked that means they're spoiling the Miraidon slot. I would have probably preferred them targeting the other, but this is still all right. Electro Drift will come out. Bring it down to the Sash. Like, the only thing I really need Miraidon for is the electric terrain, so I can activate my Drifblim later on. Wait, they spored my Zama? Oh boy. All right, Moody time. Okay, defense is fine. And Speedfall, that's really good for me. Okay, awesome. I can now get a Volt Switch off into the Smeargle, and I can get a Body Press off into the Rillaboom for some pretty heavy damage. I could try to pin a slot, but I don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't know what they could really switch Smeargle to anyway. I guess if they have Raging Bolt, they can go into Raging Bolt. That's fine by me. But I think I just Volt Switch into Drifblim and get some momentum, I think. Because I do threaten the Electric Seed. I do threaten quite a bit. So we will Volt Switch out the Smeargle. They give me the Smeargle. Goodbye, Smeargle. I don't have to deal with Smeargle, which is really, really nice. I can go out in a Drifblim now because they're probably just U-turning the Rillaboom out into a partner, which is cool. Good damage. Yep, they U-turn. Perfect. Perfect. And now I can get terrain control, which is super advantageous for me. This is Shadow Rider coming in. It's probably Shadow Rider, and I think they have to go Rillaboom. They could go Zama, I guess, but if they go Zama, I think I'm in an okay spot. Let's see. Unless they brought Raging Bolt back, which is fair. They do go Rillaboom. Okay. So I can go for a few different things. I can go for Trick Room if I want, which isn't bad here, because they got to be worried about like a Shadow Ball unless they know the team. I think my best play here is to just go for, well, their Zama. My Zama's faster than their Zama. That's the only issue. I think I could probably just Icy Wind here realistically and go for Wide Guard. That's a pretty fair play, actually. We're going to see the Terra for Terra Dark because they're scared of me switching into Miraidon and clicking Shadow Ball, which is kind of what I expected them to fear here. So this one works out perfectly, assuming they didn't Psychic my Drifblim. But I feel like if they're making this play, they're probably going to commit and go for Astral. They might Nasty Plot here, but that's fine by me. And because I get the Icy Wind off, they're now threatened by Body Press. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is really good. Well, if I hit the Icy Wind, that's amazing, but we'll see. Nice. Okay, that is epic. That is epic. Good. We get the speed drop on the Cali, which is massive. And the Rillaboom does take a bit more chip. U-turn going to come back out, but going to get healed by the grassy terrain anyway. Their Zama's about to come in. And we just threaten Body Press into the Shadow Rider slot, and we go for there's like quite a few plays I could go for. I think I'm just gonna double out. Do I double out here? I don't need to Terra Normal my Ditto anymore. I probably Terra my Zama because Terra Zama is pretty safe here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out into Ditto, I think, and go for a Terra Dragon Body Press into the Shadow Rider slot. They should switch out to Shadow Rider. They can protect Shadow Rider, which is fair, but also like it doesn't really matter to me because now I have two. Like if you've got one body press was threatening, imagine double. Make it double. And now we have +2 Zamazenta and another Zamazenta on our side. We have the Terra Dragon that makes this Zamazenta neutral to body press, so it won't do too much damage. This is perfect. This is perfect. Yep, they protect Shadow Rider. I could have went for body press in their own, but realistically, like they shouldn't be able to do much to my Zama. Yeah. Excellent. They're always switching out the Cali. The question is, do I want to KO the Rillaboom or not? I think the play is to probably just KO. Yeah, no, this is fine. They do retreat to Cali into Rillaboom. I don't know if they protect the Zama, but we'll see. I'm not in range of Astral Barrage, so I'm fine so far. Yeah, they go for body press in my Ditto. I take that super well because I'm +2. Here's a +2 body press against them. I do a lot. I could have probably KO'd their slot, but this is okay. I want to find an interesting maneuver here to guarantee the win, but I don't know if there is a good maneuver to guarantee the win here. Actually, no, there is, right? It's just body press to Cali and body press to Zama. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because my Zamazenta is out of range, out of Astral Barrage and Psychic. Is my... The thing is, it might be a roll on this Zama. Or on the Ditto slot. I still think I body press and I think I just double body press anyway. Claw will guarantee it. Okay, beautiful. Because I was worried about like Zama speed ties between my Zama and their Zama, but no, this guarantees it. I mean, my Zama was faster than the Cali and they attacked here, so I'm like guaranteed to win here anyway. So they went for Astral Barrage. As long as this doesn't crit, we're good. Oh, they didn't even KO either. Yeah, I don't think they could win here because of the fact that they we're just going to fall victim to this body press for my Zama. I know my Zama's faster than their Zama. And then it's a Ditto speed tie, but the Quick Claw just ensures it. Oh, how funny. How funny. But put in work. Put in work. Drifblim, it's funny because Drifblim didn't even get the Unburden. It just went for Icy Wind with Wide Guard support. And it was able to like put that Cali into a miserable position where then body press was just putting in so much work. And I wanted my Zama outside of Trick Room because I knew that it was faster than their Zama, so I think it was just worth it in general. Like all those layers, I think the fact that I see win Trick Room options, like I had double modes that I could set up for, and I think like no matter what, as long as they don't crit my Zama, I guess they have to crit the Ditto too and win the speed tie, but yeah. Very nice. Miraidon, Lunala, Urshifu, Incineroar, Iron Bundle, and Ogerpon Hearthflame. Double Fire. Is it double water too? I can't tell if it's double water. Unfortunately, Iron Bundle outspeeds Unburdened Drifblim with Quark Drive. Let's see here. Shanpao Zama might be good. Get worried about the Ursh. I could lead also my I am thinking is Pal even good here? I mean, it's good with Ruination and Taunt, but like a lot of these Pokemon I don't deal with, like it only beats the restricteds and I don't even know if it really beats the restricteds. It's gonna be tricky. I don't know if they're leading Iron Bundle, that's my problem. I think my best lead is probably Zamazenta Miraidon. Yeah, Zamazenta Miraidon's fine. I think Pow in the back. The question is, am I bringing Ditto or am I bringing my Drifblim, because Drifblim speed control is nice if I get rid of the Iron Bundle. I don't know if they're Trick Room though, but I think it's worth risking here. This is going to be a tough one. This is an absolute tough matchup. Mainly because Lunala is a bit tricky to get rid of. But we'll see. Miraidon Incineroar, okay. Versus Miraidon and Zamazenta. Their Miraidon's faster. Good to know. They probably just fake out and go for a Draco. I'm only gonna lose my sash on POW if it's necessary. I'm gonna go for a body press into the Incineroar slot, I think. Swap into POW. I don't think they ever fake out my Miraidon. They're gonna fake out my Zamazenta. I don't think. I mean, the worst case is they double my Zamazenta. I don't think that's gonna be very likely here. I think they would probably target the Miraidon slot with their Miraidon, if anything. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think you go for fake out. Maybe unless you should know how fast your Miraidon is, but we'll see. They fake out my Zama, which is yep. And they Draco. Yep, perfect. Okay, that works. Okay, now I have a nice pin upcoming turn with Ruination and Body Press. I can Body Press the Incin. And Ruination the Miraidon, which is probably switching out into the Lunala, I imagine. I don't know if they're going to tear the Incin. If they tear the Incin, that's fine, but it depends on what they decide to lock into. Like, if they have Wisp, it's annoying, but if they just KO my Jianpao, that's alright. I think this is always switch out from the Miraidon. I don't know who they switch out into. I think it is going to be Lunala, because you have the immunity to Body Press, and you have Shadow Shield with Electric Seed active. Like, I think it's the safest one. They went Ogerpon. Okay, that's fine. Ruination gets some pretty decent damage in Ogerpon too. Oh, they double swap. Oh, is this Lunala? Good play on their part. Yeah, good play on their part. Nice double switch on their part. Okay, cool. We go for Ruination into the Ogerpon. They didn't bring the Iron Bundle, which is nice actually. Okay. Here's on how fast this Ogerpon is. I don't think you ever Terra. Do you Terra and go for Ivy Cudgel? That's insane. If you do. I think I Body Press and I think I Crash here. If they follow me to Trick Room, that's fine. Yeah, they follow me here. I should get a Crash. Well, I don't get the Body Press off, which is unfortunate. I didn't break Shadow Shield on the Lunala. I don't know if they Trick Room or not, but we'll find out. We Body Press and fail. A Moonblast. That makes sense. Goodbye, my Jianpao. It's a bit ugly. I'm gonna bring on my Blim. As I bring up Miraidon, okay. Here's on what they want to do here. I kind of want to protect and I want to go for Destiny Bond. The reason I do this is because, hey, if they target a Drifblim, I get rid of one of the nuisance mons. And if they decide, hey, I'm going to Trick Room, my Zamazenta is faster in Trick Room than the Miraidon, so this works out fine. But let's see. We get Destiny Bond off. Oh, that's massive. That's massive. Thank you for your service, Drifblim. Take the Miraidon down with you. Take that Miraidon down with you. And if they like Trick Room, I can reverse Trick Room if I want to. So it's like not even that bad. Calm Mind. Oh, that's fine. I can go for Body Press into the Incineroar and Terra Electric. My only problem is that I am running out of terrain turns. But at this point, like, as long as I use Snarl to reduce the damage, it should be fine. They still have Terastallization, but it shouldn't matter too much. Because if they Terastallize, they're vulnerable to Body Press and Behemoth Bash. The only problem is the Zamazenta is like, what, -2? Yeah. But we'll go for the Snarl. And yeah, there's not much else we can do. I don't know who they fake out. They either fake out... they might fake out Miraidon. But I'm not 100% certain, actually. They might Terra the instant and go for fake out. Like, I can see that being their play. I have no idea what Terra this Incineroar is, but I mean, I should be able to get 2 Body Press instant if they do Terra. They do Terrastallize, so the Terra is committed on the Incineroar. Yep. Into what Terra? Bug. It's not great, but acceptable. There should be fake out of Miraidon always. Yeah. Okay, Covert Cloak. Being helpful here. We get a Snarl off. Good. And the Moonblast is weak, so I should be fine. Damage to Incin. They do Moonblast. Okay. So it disappears from the battlefield. Oh, they don't have leftovers, which is massive, actually. No, leftovers is massive. Yeah, because it was Electric Seed. Okay. Electric Terrain is still available. I can go for Electro Drift. Or I can go for Snarl. I think we Body Press the Incin and... Does Electro Drift... Is Electro Drift better? Or is Snarl just better? I think it's Snarl. Wide Guard. Oh, is this Blitz? Should I should have Electro Drifted, didn't I? This might have been should have Electro Drifted Incin. But the thing is, I was worried about Moongeist being KOing my Miraidon at the range it's at, because I mean, how much did Moonblast do? It did like 50. I don't survive this, do I? That's so big. We just gotta land this one Snarl. I need the special attack drop on Lunala. That's the reason why I'm going for Snarls. Because that means Zamazenta can actually deliver attacks. Please just hit the Lunala. Well. That's my fault. I got punished for the last turn. I didn't think it was Wide Guard Calm Mind. I thought it was Wide Guard Trick Room. Or now Wide Guard Trick Room, excuse me. Calm Mind Protect. Well, I think we're losing because I need the Snarl damage. So Behemoth Bash damage would be like okay onto the Lunala, but it's not like anything amazing. I need the Behemoth Bash damage, but I also need the Snarl to buy turns. Oh, I'm doing nothing. Okay, no, it might have been over regardless. I think the Snarl was just like a guarantee, but like I think the turn prior was a mess up. Look, if I double crit the Lunala, I have a chance. I'm gonna go for a double crit, but it's not looking pretty hot for me. I don't even think if... I'm pretty sure 2 Moongeist beams get me and Behemoth Bash crit won't get them. Yeah. I think even if I landed a Snarl, but based on the damage, I might have still needed to crit with that. I don't know. It might have been close. Looks close. Because the first Snarl was with Shadow Shield. But man, that just feels so bad. Unless Electro Drift did way more damage to the Lunala. Unless Electro Drift did like way more damage than Snarl. Because we didn't... Well, the turn day Wide Guard, did I have Electric Terrain? I know I didn't have Electric Terrain after that. I still think Snarl is the correct play. Even with Terra Electric, same type of attack bonus. Snarl's like what? Well, I guess it's like only 160 base power, but I wanted a special attack drop. Maybe Electro Drift was the better play. It might have been Electro Drift. Because I forget about the Snarl being 75% instead of the full power. So it's not 55 times 4. It's like 55 times 0.75 times 4. Yeah, I think I probably should have Electro Drifted earlier. Granted, I think if I did Snarl, I actually had a chance because I would have gotten multiple Behemoth Bashes off because the Moongeist Beams weren't going to be like a 3-shot like it was. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Ting Lu, Miraidon, Hitmontop, Rillaboom, Annihilate, and Zamazenta. Is this... I know we used the Hitmontop team by Ryota. I don't know if this is the same one. I do not remember this is the same one, but... Okay. Volcarona is pretty solid. Drifblim actually does kind of... Well, here's the thing. Drifblim... I could actually put in work with Drifblim. Because it's faster. Speed control's nice. The thing is, I want to bring Volcarona. There's a lot of Pokemon I want to bring here. I think I always do Drifblim plus the Miraidon. I guess I don't need Ditto in this matchup because Ditto is just really weird against a lot of these Pokemon. Other than the Zamazenta. Because I would only want to trace the Zamazenta, but I think it might be a bit tricky too. I think the more consistent route is just going with Xianpao plus Zamazenta, or... I think it's Xianpao Zamazenta. I think having a backup answer to those specifically, although having Volcarona would be nice in this matchup because it is a body press switch. I'd have to play more aggressively here. Is that bad? You know what? I'll bring Volk. I think I'll bring Volk. Let's see. Because Zamazenta technically beats what... Other than, I guess, their own Zamazenta. I could have Ruination Body Press though in a Ting Lu, and that would be massive. I'm not sure which is correct, but versus Ting Lu and Annihilate, which is not a lead I would have expected, versus my Miraidon and the Annihilate. Okay. So we have a few options. Air Slash immediately will actually do a decent chunk. We get the Electric Seed boost. Also Ruin activates. I think my play is just to go for an Air Slash. Probably Air Slash, go Volcarona. Yeah, I think it's Air Slash, go Volcarona. I think this is the best play. I was not expecting the Ting Lu and the Annihilate bleed, but sure. We will go for an Air Slash. That did nothing. Oh, it's Rage Fist. Didn't KO. Payback. My Destiny Bond, it would have worked out way better. Okay. This is very, very bad. I guess I can go Zamazenta here, but oh boy, this is really, really bad. I thought it was going to be Final Gambit into my Miraidon, maybe the U-turn. That got really bad. Oh man, was there anything I could do other than Destiny Bond? I think I had to click Destiny Bond there. I wasn't expecting to go down like that. Oh, I think Behemoth Bash into Flamethrower doesn't KO. Unfortunately, I think I have to go for a Flamethrower Protect. We're gonna see the Terra. This is probably Ting Lu Terra, so this is fine by me. Yeah, they Terra to Ting Lu. Into Poison. Okay. Unfortunately, I just don't know how I'm getting rid of this Ting Lu. Because it's probably Assault Vest, and I'm not taking the attack swell. If they have a rock move, I think this is just game over. I really do think it would be game over, but we'll see. What the heck is this, man? Rock Tomb Annihilate? Oh, it's just Assault Vest Annihilate. Flame body. Okay. Maybe we have outs. Oh, it's leftovers Tinglu. Can we win? Potentially. I am seeing outs now. We're gonna Behemoth Bash. We're gonna protect. We're probably just gonna Rage Fist anyway and go for a Stomping Tantrum. But yeah, I was about to say, like, I thought the air slash damage made sense, but now it's Assault Vessel. Like, yeah, that damage was insane. Rage Fist into the Volk, which is beautiful. Did they just go for Stomping or Ruination? Ruination into Zama makes sense too. Okay. All right, I can get a Tailwind up, and I can go for a Behemoth Bash into the Annihilate, unless I want to read a switch, but I think we always go for the Behemoth Bash and we go for the Tailwind. Yeah, it's just such a strange position. It really is. Okay. I'm hoping for some pretty good damage here into the... I'm hoping for a knockout plus the Tailwind. I don't know if they're going to KO Volcarona, which would be fine for me, because I get a free switch into my Miraidon to threaten damage, but I mean, it's going to be a tough one still. All right, no switches, so I do claim the Annihilate, but Annihilate will go down. That Mon actually was super threatening to my team in general. I should be faster than Tinglu, even with the Rock Tomb speed drop, because of how slow Tinglu is. So I do get the Tailwind up. All right, doable. Calming Tantrum. They take a bit of extra damage from the Rocky Helmet, which is nice. All right. I also have Covert Cloak Miraidon, which is ignorant of any stat dropping moves that the Tinglu might possibly have, which is nice. Unfortunately, we don't have the extra firepower. So we're going to go on a Miraidon. I don't know what they're going to go into. Zama? The thing is, I think their Zama's dressed by Electric Body Press, so I think it actually goes down to it. But we'll see. I just don't know what Terra is correct here. They do bring out the Zama. Okay, they should know that I do Dress and Body Press plus Electric Drift as a potential knockout. This is kind of a call here. I think my best place to Behemoth Bash Electro Drift to the Tinglu. Go for a Terra Dragon. Yeah, I think it is. I think they do protect Zama. I don't know if Tinglu has protect, but if they have protect, I could go for protect here. And I think Tinglu would live any combination other than, I guess they don't know I'm Specs, if I'm Specs or not, so. Yeah, this is weird. Oh, they don't protect here. Okay. I do get the Electro Drift off into the Tinglu. Oh, wait, that might KO with Behemoth Bash, actually. Okay, we have a chance. We have a chance, because I can Draco Meteor their... I can Draco Meteor their Miraidon. Okay. And they're about to summon Electric Train for me again, unless they didn't bring Miraidon. They Body Press, perfect. Are you kidding me, man? I think I had a good shot of winning here. Oh, you can't be serious, man. That's why I terrored. I terrored because I lived that. Even though I was in a bad spot, I think I positioned well enough. We can still win, but now we need RNG in our favor. We had to Draco Meteor to Miraidon and then Electro Drift to crit the Zama. If I didn't get crit there, I could just Body Press the Zama. Wait, what? Never mind. It's Focus Sash Miraidon. What the heck is this team, man? Okay, that endgame was not what I expected it would be. If it was Specs Miraidon, I had it locked because, or if it was Scarf Miraidon, I had it locked because with Tailwind, I outspeed their Miraidon, I Draco Meteor the Choice Mon, and then I body press their Zama. If they take the KO into my Zama, yes, I have a -2 Miraidon, but 2 Electric Drifts should knock out their Zama in electric terrain, even with the -2. But then it was Focus Sash. I mean, the start was just horrendous, so I'm glad we had a position to actually come back in that, but like, what the heck, man? It's Solvest Annihilate plus Focus Sash Miraidon of all things. I don't know, man. Miraidon, Calyx, Ice Rider, Whimsicott, Volcarona, Incineroar, and Urshifu. I don't think this is a Drifblim game unless I want to go for an Endeavor strategy, because yeah, there is double there is double of the restricted stats this does not like. I could use Ditto though. Ditto could be effective. Trying to figure out what I lead here. Probably, wait, am I getting deja vu? Did I play this already? I think I might have. But maybe it's the same team. I think I do like Xian Pao, Zama. Is that what I did against this last time? Because I won with Xian Pao, Zama, Zenta, and Miraidon just straight up. I guess I'll just try the same thing again. Because I did that and then I had Ditto back and I didn't even bring the Ditto out. So let's see if this works. I'm not sure because the team looks familiar to me, but I can't remember. Because I like the idea of Xian Pao, Zama because they don't have the best immediate offense, and I didn't want to bring Drifblim because they led Whimsicott Miraidon last time, and yeah, they do the same thing again, and that's what exactly happened the first time. So this is probably okay. I think it was Focus Sash Whims last time, so I don't know if this is an established team, but I just remember to move the order and stuff. I think my play here is just to go for a Ruination Body Press into the Miraidon, if I'm not mistaken, because it was a very physically defensive Volk. If I want to get a Whimsicott though, I could, but I think my play is just to go for Ruination plus Body Press. Because the only way this gets super messed up is they go for Moonblast into Dazzling Gleam Terra Fairy. Because otherwise, then I could always at least threaten the Sucker Punch into the Miraidon. But we'll see. Last time, I think the Whimsicott switched in Incineroar. I don't think this is the same player, though, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm going to go for Ruination plus Body Press as they go for Tailwind here, which is fine. Tailwind Volt Switch makes sense. That's what I expected the first time, but then they switched in the Whimsicott as I Icicle Crash that slot. So let's see what's gonna happen this time. I imagine the Volcarona is coming in, and that's all right. Yep, Volcarona comes in. I get a crash, but it's not that big of a deal. Oh no, this is a different team. This is Electricity. Last time was Rocky Helmet. Okay, so I guess the same 6 because it's the same team order. All right, I get a big Ruination off into Body Press. Unfortunately, I get Flame Bodied immediately. Okay, that was the risk I took though. That's okay. It's not the best, obviously. I could copy the, I guess I go out into the Whimsicott here and I go for Behemoth Bash into the Whimsicott slot. Actually, no, I'm going to body. Behemoth Bash is not even going to KO the Whimsicott. I'm going to Body Press because it covers for an instant switch. I mean, they're just going to Moonblast. Maybe they Protect. I'm going to try to copy their Whimsicott so I can get my own Tailwind up. I don't even think I KO Volcarona with Body Press. Yeah, they protect Volcarona because they're afraid of Sucker Punch potential. They're going to Moonblast to KO my POW. I didn't have Protect. They go for an Encore. Okay, that's fine. I was going to Body Press the Whimsicott anyway. I guess I can Encore to Volcarona. That's nice. And I don't see a problem with going for an Encore into the... Yeah, it's... This is Focus Sash Whimsicott for sure. If they are Endeavor. All right. So I can Tailwind or I can Encore. I think Encore is correct. And just Body Press. They shouldn't have a switch in for the Body Press super well. I could have Moonblasted too, but I'm worried if they stay in because I think they do live the attack. We're going to see Whimsicott retreat here. Is this a double switch? Instant? Oh, Cali Ice. Ooh, no instant. Okay. Nice. They stay in. I'm pretty sure I don't KO with Body Press, which is why I went for this attack. Well, they get the double protect, so I'll never find out. Okay. I think my best play here is just to go Miraidon and go for a wide guard. Oh wait, no, I'm Encored in a Body Press, aren't I? Okay, that makes things a bit weird. I don't really want a Tailwind here. I'm trying to think, is there anything that I really want to do? Probably just go POW, which is unfortunate, but I think I have to go POW. And we're going to throw off a Body Press and we're going to target down at the Alex slot. They do retreat to the Volcarona. I don't know. Probably Whimsicott again, I'd imagine. Yeah. I guess if they KO the POW though, they get a +1 and I get to copy the boost back with Ditto. So I guess this isn't too bad. Let's use faster my Zama or their Cali Ice. Body Press. Damage. The Glacial, okay. I don't think this is that bad. I don't think this is that bad. Me transforming into their Cali Ice is going to be massive. My only problem is the Miraidons are going to have to fight it out, and I have no idea if that's going to be good or bad for me. But we are going to go out on a Ditto. It's funny because Quick Claw could very easily change this game. What's nice is the Volcarona doesn't have Electric Seed boost. I think it goes down to Body Press. It's going to be close because that's sort of Ruin as well. But we always go for Glacial here. I think I always just go for a Body Press anyway into the Cali Ice. And then they have no switches to Glacial Lance. Volcarona goes down, so if they want to sack Volcarona, that makes sense. They could go out into like the... What they could go out into the Volcarona, sack it. I think say Whimsicott for Tailwind makes a lot of sense here, but we'll see. No, they just draw off a light screen. Okay, so they're setting for the Miraidon in the game, which makes sense. So I get the Body Press off. I get good damage, and here is the Glacial. Very solid damage. Okay. Ooh, they high horsepower. Huh. High horsepower is an interesting play there. Electric Train disappears from the battlefield. Unfortunately, if we had one more turn, we could potentially stall it out, but Miraidon's coming back in. They don't have Terrestrialization. Wait, no, they do have Terrestrialization. I mean, I think my play here is just to go for a... This is tough. I wish my Miraidon was max speed, but it's not. I guess we protect the Cali Ice to try and get a free switch. And I think we body press the Cali Ice. They're gonna Terra, yep, into Fairy. That makes sense. I don't think they ever Dazzle here because, like, oh, they're Terra Electric. Oh, I'm gonna have to hold my Miraidons faster. I have to hold my Miraidons faster for a chance. Or I need to get the Quick Claw. I need to get the Quick Claw. Wait, I'm definitely faster with my Miraidon because my Zama is outsped. Okay, wait, hold up. That's massive. I'm kind of curious on what their Miraidon set is, but that works out. Okay. Glacial Lens knocks out the Zamazenta, which is perfect. And now we get to go out into my Miraidon. We click Snarl. Plus Glacial. I think it's always Glacial Snarl here. Do we get the Quick Claw? Beautiful. Okay. I mean, it might not matter. I guess I could have high horsepower, but I didn't want like a Snarl Miss to screw me over. Like if I Snarl Miss to Cali Ice and then they win a speed tie. So let's see. Get the Glacial and Snarl. Glacial was the correct move, I think, anyway. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's so funny. Volcarona comes out. I think I have to hit a Snarl no matter what. Because I can't risk them going for a random Rage Powder as I go for an electric move, then win the speed tie. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that this is always Snarl. No Terra helps me in this situation. Yeah, I just Snarl. Alright, I land both Snarls. I don't KO the Volk actually, which I thought I would, but we hit the Cali Ice. They didn't go for a last ditch Rage Powder into Glacial Speed Tie. But then again, I guess that means they can't get a knockout into the Cali Ice. And Cali Ice would be able to fire back. So they were kind of still in a rough position anyway. I guess maybe like I could have attacked the Cali Ice and just Glacialed. I think that actually would have probably been better. If I attacked the Cali Ice and not risk the Snarl. I thought Snarl would KO Volcarona. So if I get one KO, I just guarantee win. But yeah. All right. Different from the last game that I played in that matchup. Different sets though. And yeah. Because last time I swept with Xianpao, Zamazenta, and Miraidon, and I didn't even get to use my Ditto. This time the Ditto really came in clutch there, being able to transform. And the Quick Claw. The Quick Claw allowed me to have extra HP to make this game safer to win, but I think I could have definitely won even without the Quick Claw, because unless the Miraidon is actually Choice Specs Terra Electric Drift, which usually they're not, I should be able to always get the KO onto the Miraidon by surviving the Electro Drift after the Snarl and then Glacial Lance, but it depends on if they're actually specs or not, but most Terra Electric ones aren't specs. All right, let's go to games. In game one, a big Whimsicott knockout turn one, as I have been encountering a lot of slow Focus Sash Whimsicott lately and was able to get massive lead with Xianpao, while Drifblim was able to beat the remaining Sneasler. In game two, Trick Room Fluttermane Nasty Plot Chi-Yu alongside, oh man, slow Koraidon. Definitely was a thriller. I wonder if the opponent switched in Koraidon knowing that they would get the defense boost with Photosynthesis, because that was a brilliant play for them especially. But man, I think I had it too, because it was slow Koraidon with the Flame Charge, which meant Drifblim outsped. If I hit the Air Slash, I think I'm in a golden spot, assuming I just hit the 95% accurate moves. This isn't like Bleakwind like 80. This isn't even Precipice Plays or Orgibles. These are 95% accurate moves. I needed to hit, but unfortunately Drifblim failed me. And then in the heat of the moment, I thought I could survive the Flare Blitz maybe, but the Drifblim was 0 IVs in both HP and defense, so there was no chance of living. If I actually did have investment in defense, it actually does survive, but since this Drifblim does have max special attack, yeah, it went down. In game three, I don't know what they were doing with their Calyrex because they just were willing to throw it away. I understood that play if they go for fake out into the Miraidon because then it would just be like a cover cloak. Yeah, that's just how they get you. But that play just was super vulnerable. I think they super hard committed on me switching out Miraidon there, and they got heavily punished because the Calyrex just took so much damage and Drifblim was able to revenge KO. And they couldn't reposition. Like the Shadow Rider was always getting KO'd assuming I hit my 95% accurate move that game. In game 4, very solid as they doubled into my Protect turn 1 of my Zamazenta. Though it was a bit spooky, thankfully they did double up the Zamazenta slot, but I was able to get rid of Smeargle because of it without any issues. And then the icy wind from the Drifblim put my Zamazenta and Ditto into an amazing position. In game 5, was able to snipe the Miraidon with a big Destiny Bond from the Drifblim. However, the Lunala dodging Snarl unfortunately ended any chance because I couldn't get any damage. Maybe if I got a crit with Zamazenta, I think I needed double crit in order to have a chance there. But unfortunately, it was not the case. I did some calcs afterward with Terra Electric Drift out of the terrain because I didn't have access to terrain back then. And the Snarl spread damage, and they don't really differ too much in damage. It's like 5 to 10% mostly. And I think the special attack drop was worth going for, even with the missed chance. Yeah, it's of course, if I went for Electro Drift, I did guarantee the damage. However, I still think I wouldn't have been able to do enough with Behemoth Bash in the end. However, it really comes down to it. I guess if I Electro Drifted on the turn 8 wide guarded, sure. But I did really want the Snarl to potentially live the Moongeist Beam. And yeah, it didn't pay off exactly as I planned. In game 6, it was a Soulfest Annihilate with leftovers Tinglu. And yeah, I did not know how to play against this, and the lead went really, really bad. I felt like the game could have been really solid, and I felt like I built up towards a great position if it was in my range of expectation what the Miraidon item was. But unfortunately, the crit from the Zamazenta would have put me in a really bad spot because of the fact that it did knock out my Zamazenta, which means I couldn't go for the Draco Meteor into the Miraidon, and then 2 body presses potentially into the Zamazenta, body press plus 2 minus 2 Electro Drift into Rain against Zamazenta. That's how I planned it out. But then it was Focus Sash for Miraidon, which is like one of the few items I was not anticipating. Like, I don't know what I was supposed to do after that because I already had a rough lead, and then they had like one of the few items that clutched up the end game for them. In game 7, had deja vu from one of my early practice matches with this team where I was testing it out when I was able to sweep with Xianpao plus Zamazenta, which is why you saw me commentating like that this was a rematch, because I felt like I played it, but I think it was a different player, which is why I was confused. But the Pokemon order were the exact same, which is why I was like, oh, is this a rental team or am I rematching an opponent? However, it was just different sets, and I was just able to push a lot of momentum with heavy damage, and a quick Claw Ditto helped to seal it up against the Miraidon and Calyrex Ice Rider. So how do I think about the team? It's definitely an interesting one. The Destiny Bond Trick Room kind of synergy is really interesting, and of course it can help reverse Trick Rooms even with a fast Drifblim. It's definitely a unique mon out there. It definitely has a lot of potential. Icy Wind Speed Control, of course, is just really good. Air Slash, flying coverage is always excellent, so it was able to put in work. Quick Claw Ditto actually did come in handy in one of the games, and you know, sometimes like if you don't have an item that you really need because you don't want the Choice Scarf because you can transform into Cali Ice, why not have Quick Claw? Because you know what, it'll give you a chance in some positions where you might need it. You never know. But the team was fun. If you want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.